Welcome to the Forge by Design podcast. This is your host, Daniel Badijo. You can always find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and of course, our YouTube channel, Forge by Design. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Today in this episode, we have a seasoned stylist and barber. 10 years, a decade, servicing the CSRA from young children to older adults and everything in between. A young man that has not only had an entrepreneur mindset, but now a CEO and a business mindset. We're going to talk about his business modeling, strategic planning, and all the things that have made him successful, well-liked in the industry, and he is still growing. I can't wait to share this dream with you. Help me welcome Yavia Muñiz, el Barberito. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to the podcast. You know, we had a great conversation. I think we had a podcast before the podcast.
Yes, sir.
So it has been definitely a pleasure to have you here with us and to be able to have that backdrop on your dreams, your aspirations, and all the things that you have accomplished, not only for yourself, for your family, and abroad. So the first time I called you, you were in the island of Puerto Rico. Can you imagine that? He couldn't fly over to Augusta, Georgia to be on the podcast.
At the time I couldn't.
Because I'm pretty sure you were, in Spanish it says chinchoreando. That means jumping from one place to another, just eating, beach hopping like I did. But thank you for making the time to be with us. So I want to start by asking you, what made you from a young age get interested in becoming a stylist and a barber?
It started when I was like 11 or 12. My mom used to do hair. She was a stylist. She was doing it for many, many years. She brought us here, and I just saw the difference of her coming from the island, coming here and not knowing nobody. Started doing the same profession, picking up clients, motivating them, having them. As soon as she do her hair, it was just like, I don't know. She just brought this great joy in the clients that when they would leave. So I wanted to do that and make people feel that way.
Outstanding. So at what age were you there? Teenage years, or you were 11, 12? Or?
I was 11, 12 when she first started doing it. I started getting into it when I started touching the clippers when I was like 14, 15.
Okay.
And my grandpa talked to one of his friends and they placed me into a shop, put me under pressure.
Okay.
But it was awesome.
At 14, 15 years old,
yes,
you were
sir.
Already behind the clippers. I can imagine being that first client on okay, hey, by the way, here's my 14-year-old who's so is that what really sparked your interest, and what made you go and say, I enjoyed seeing my mom do this. I like the fact that people are being inspired, and that conversation that stylists and clients have. But what made you take this interest and become a passion or business? What was that transition like?
It all started when I started cutting, and a lot of people started getting to know who I was. They started suggesting me to others. It basically became where I saw it into a business concept where it was like, okay, what else I'm gonna do other than cut hair? What can I take this? I started to influence people, and I was like, you know what? I could do this into a business. And just grow it into what it became now. Sure.
Well, those are like the first 5 clients, 10 clients, because after a certain amount of clientele, maybe people that you gave a haircut to or a stylist to, then you say, you know what, I might be good at this because, I can, let's say I wanted to become a stylist and a barber. I would know after my first 5 whether this is my passion or not, because regardless of what state-of-the-art clippers I have and tools and assets, if you don't have the skill sets, if you don't have the drive to continue learning and the inner support, then I would know after 5 people that I massacred their hairstyle, their hair.
So it was in 2 different locations.
Okay, so what was the first location? Okay, you have a passion.
I have a passion. So I started at church.
Okay,
cutting up a couple of guys at church, and I started seeing that everybody at church, young wise, my age, they wanted haircuts. Then I got the older man's attention.
Okay.
Which is, that's a big step.
Absolutely.
From a kid, everybody wants a haircut from, they take a haircut from anybody.
Right.
But when you get an adult that they see your talent, and then the second place was school. Started cutting up my friends, and then it went from like cutting a couple of them, 2, 3, to like the whole school.
Oh, wow. Outstanding.
Yeah, North Augusta High School.
Sure. So where did you first set up shop as El Barberito? Or the name Barberito came afterward?
It came way after.
Way after. Okay, let's take it in stages. Where was the first time that you set up shop saying, I'm going to promote myself as a stylist and a barber?
I started in, it was called Clearwater, North Augusta.
Okay.
And that's when my grandpa spoke with a friend of ours of the family, and he actually gave me a spot, and I started cutting there under his license. And it was in Clearwater. It was right next to me Ranchos, if I remember.
Okay. In Clearwater. All right. How many years were you there?
Ooh, I was there for like 2 years. And then from there, I moved to Augusta, Georgia.
Were our haircuts less expensive back then?
Yes. Yes. It was like $12 to $15.
$12.15. I'm not gonna. We'll probably ask later on what's caused. Every entrepreneur, as you're doing this, you're gaining some experience. What do you think were your major? Just starting off, what do you think were your major challenges that you encountered, and how did you overcome those first years where you're trying to learn? I won't say learn, perfect your craft, perfect your skills. What is one major challenge that you face at the beginning stages of your profession?
Building my clientele while learning how to conduct business.
Okay, let me say that. Say that again to that middle camera.
I was building my clientele while learning how to conduct business.
Okay, so break that down for me. So you were building clientele. That's one challenge.
Challenge.
That's definitely one challenge. At the time, we didn't have probably all the social media stuff like that, the outlets. So most of that was word of mouth. Say, hey, this guy named Yavia, he did a phenomenal job, and word of mouth, stuff like that. You got to go to this guy. So that's one thing. Growing your client. You probably got desperate because you wanted a sea, an ocean of clients to come your way. So that's one thing. And talk to me about the challenges of learning how to run a business. What challenge? What do you recollect?
That was challenging. That had to do how to learn how to do marketing. Of course, as a barber, you have to learn that you need a lawyer, you need a banker, and you need an accountant. Okay. And those things I didn't know at the time. So you get a lot of money in. At the time, it was cash money because there wasn't no apps like how it is now, like where you have booking apps and all that. Yeah. But on the business part,
nobody did fiao.
I had some.
And that's a Spanish term. Fiao means like on credit.
On credit.
You cut my hair now. I'll pay you next week, and when I get paid. My check. When I get paid. So you needed an accountant. All those things. So how did you overcome that, knowing that you needed to become more astute or more have that knowledge to run the business?
Sitting down with them and taking classes and courses. And learning how to further your business, how to open up a LLC.
Sure.
And every step that it takes to build a business.
So you were looking at your business model, strategic planning.
Yes.
Sometimes when you start, I always say when you're starting a business plan or strategic plan, you're not doing it for the here and now. You're saying, okay, I'm going to have a rough draft of this business model with maybe 1 or 2 revenue streams that are going to fund and sustain this vision and this mission, but it's something so organic that you can grow and you can expand. So I see you that you started with your clientele, word of mouth is connecting. Back then was no, like I said, no social media the way it is now through all these platforms. You're getting more knowledgeable on accounting and how to run the business, not making the financial mistakes that you probably did back then, and taking classes. Now, what type of class? You said on business modeling and just general accounting.
General accounting. Just I have accountants that will come in, get a haircut, and I'll ask questions. Pick their brain out. What basically helped my business out. And sometimes I'll even give a free haircut because of what a lot of people don't understand, like information costs.
Absolutely.
So I will give a free haircut in order for an exchange of information.
Outstanding.
A lot of people wouldn't understand that at the time, but now it's like
I would have gotten like a gazillion haircuts. You should have told me. I would have gone in. I would have gone in. I remember. So you were at Clearwater, and then I remember you moving to, was it Broad Street?
Yes, I moved to Broad Street. I moved to a barbershop downtown Broad Street. Then from there, I went to Laney Walker, and I ended up back at Broad Street.
Okay.
So it was like 4 shops.
4 shops.
My career. I was in 4 shops.
How many years were you in Broad Street?
I was in Broad Street for 2 years. Then I went to Laney Walker. That was a good 3 years. And then my last was 5.
Okay.
Back on Broad. 5.
I remember going there because all my kids went there.
Yes.
DJ, especially DJ, got all your money. Got all. He was always, every time he had a track and field event and stuff like that, he always wanted to look very GQ, and I knew who to take him to get him there. So I'm pretty sure I think he picked your brain more than you did his, because he was into track and field. Now, what type of hairstyles did you do back then? Because we're going to talk about your repertoire and all your diversity. But when you first started cutting hair and you wanted to perfect your craft, did you go for a specific style or specific hair type, or you just did a little bit of everything?
To be honest, I did a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Because like back to my mom, she was able to do women's hair and male hair. So I was already kind of brought up how to do shears, how to do different kind of fades. But back in the day, in those days, it was nothing but a mid-skin fade, comb over. It was just specific cuts.
Well, so it's someone that's starting off and that did not have the exposure that you have with your mom. What would you recommend someone that's just starting off and say, hey, this is what I want to do, but I'm really nervous about cutting this type of hair, or, because some people just do a military cut, right? Maybe do the Dumb and Dumber type of, part of that. Mm-hmm. Don't quote me on that one, please. But, there are people that are more comfortable just doing these 5 styles and whatnot. For someone that wants to get to your level, would you recommend that, starting off, learning the basics of fading, tapering, and stuff like that, and then moving on to a more progression type of hairstyles?
I would. Okay. I recommend that. I recommend that. Go to seminars. Also, different textures of hair. Learning the different types of textures of hair. What else can we can also put in, like different machinery. Because a lot of clippers are used for a lot of different clippers, the teething and everything is different. Okay. So I would suggest learning on that as well.
You mentioned going to seminars, so you did take a lot of formal classes. Yes, I remember having some conversations with you throughout the years, and you would tell me that you went here, I think Texas, that you went over here, always perfecting your class. They had Stylist or Barber conventions, and that you went to. What did formal training? How did formal training, this before Yavia and the after Yavia, after formal training, how did that change your business mindset and your style of cutting hair?
It shaped me. It shaped me into who I am now.
Sure.
It shaped me into who I am now. That changed a lot. How can I tell you, like, it changed me a lot because I was seeing people in places where I wanted to be.
Sure.
That's one. And the second one, it was just, they made it so simple compared to like when you go to school and you learning from, when you're under an apprenticeship, you're learning too. But that changes a little bit because you come back and sometimes the person you're under doing your apprenticeship, you can educate them as well.
Okay. So you guys share techniques?
Yeah, it's a lot of techniques that they share. New techniques, old techniques.
Right. One of the things that's always memorable for any client is when you finish and you put that alcohol behind your neck. Ooh, it doesn't matter what scent it has. I know they've enhanced the scents and all this flowery stuff, more masculine scents, but man, that burns. Mm-hmm. That burns. I love the fact that, several entrepreneurs and business people that have sat where you're sitting. I love the fact that you guys have one thing in common. And it's the fact that you said, I was willing to learn. I went under someone as an apprentice, as a student. We shared ideas. And that's very important because you have to be humble as you grow, humble as you learn different techniques. I see a lot of people in the industry that perhaps, I don't want to say arrogance, but they don't have the the spirit of humility to say, I don't know. May you please teach me. Or can you help me with this subject matter or this topic, or how do you do this better, or how can I grow? I also love the fact that you said that you saw yourself in them. You saw what you could be. You saw somebody that was probably known in the industry, had a lot of artists, right? Music artists, actors, actresses, or just high elite people in the industry. You say, you know what, I can be that. And I think that by demonstrating and reflecting humility has helped you a long way in order to perfect that craft. So I jotted down here as far as cutting and grooming, hair knowledge, the fading and tapering, scissor work, beard design, straight razor shaving. A lot of this stuff, it goes beyond my head because I'm in project planning. But a barber needs to master several core abilities, including, not only what I just enumerated, but also to have the stylist barber interaction with the client. We were talking about that people fall in love with your why, right? The fact that when you go to a certain place, it's almost robotically, right? You sit in the chair and you get the haircut, and you got to hurry up. You got half an hour, 45 minutes, and that person has to go, right? And they don't interact with that client. What are some of your techniques in order to make the client, the customer, feel more at ease as you're styling them?
The conversation is one. Your conversation, your work ethic, the consistency. And those are basically like will take you there.
Sure.
When you're talking to the client at the same time, like I'll try to fit everything that I know about them, or if I'm getting to know the person, the questions, and try to get to know them because it's a small little bit of time, but it creates I'm looking for the word, a bond.
A bond, absolutely, yeah. I know that DJ will always like to go with you. You always motivated him. He always came out pumped, hyped about not only his style, but always the interaction. And I think that's so important. I think the times that anybody has gone, has fallen in love with not only the vision and the mission of the stylist and the barber, but also that experience. And speaking, I want to get segue to the fact that you were always working in a barber shop, a barber place that had several chairs, right? So it was not only you, it was probably 5 or 6 other people. And, and sometimes when you sit down, sometimes those haircuts take, an hour and a half. It depends, right? Because you're talking about sports, you're pointing this and that, and which is all good. I'm writing that. It's all good. But what has your experience been when going from that type of environment, where you are surrounded by other people that are also picking up on your skill sets, right? They're seeing how you cut, the fading, the tapering, and all that, from going to 5, 6 people to opening now your business. Can you take us through what made you go solo and establish your own business?
Wow, it was a challenge. I wanted to put myself. I always work in shops, and I always grew, and I was in the city, and you get a lot of people, it's thousands of people.
Sure.
And I wanted to put myself in a situation where to see, can I grow, or what was needed for me to learn more, to make my career, basically my legacy bigger. And I decided to just put myself in the studio and just basically make my business there and grow it.
Well, you mean your studio's currently located where?
In Aiken, South Carolina.
So you came from Clearwater to downtown to Augusta. To growing your clientele.
To not putting myself in a situation in the middle of nowhere, and now it's like, boom, it blew up.
It blew up. So I like the fact, okay, so that to me had to be some seasons of, I don't know, humanly insecurities, right? Because you had the talent, right? Now you have the business mindset, something that you didn't have. What you didn't have back then was the clientele.
Yeah.
But now you were at a place where you grew your clientele, and people say, I'm only going to go to Yavia or see what your availability is, to now moving to Aiken. And because I was one of them. I was one of them for my kids, and I was like, okay, you know what? Yavia is no longer in Augusta. He moved to Aiken. I'm like, where? how far is that, right? So people start to calculate. But how has that been that you had a loyal clientele, but also new ones, because now you have the Whiskey Road and all the area. How were those first months like being on your own?
Whew. It was different. It was different because normally when you work for a shop, they promote you.
Okay.
You promote yourself. You're around businesses where you can go hand out cards, but now you're in the middle of nowhere. It's like now you got to depend on social media.
Sure.
And that's when I had to learn about social media, how to learn about communicating, how to basically expand the brand.
Okay.
How to get people to come. Yeah, I was already booked, but how to get people to understand, COVID helped me a lot.
Sure.
A lot of people didn't want to be around other people, so it was perfect doing the studio.
Okay. So they were taking haircuts with a mask.
Yeah. Well, I opened up right after COVID.
Okay,
when
right after
all the
COVID.
businesses could open. I did everything legally.
Sure.
But it was different. A lot of people liked it more. You got to think about it. When I was downtown, there's a lot of people walking around. You could get sick if they walk out, go to their car. Just passing by somebody got sick over there. It's more like peaceful. It's more country. It has a different scenery.
Oh, absolutely. No, we've definitely been there. I've always wanted to take that soccer ball out because you got a nice little flame. Do you guys got a goalpost?
We still have it.
Oh my God, I got to go. Next time I'm going to bring the soccer ball and I don't know, put my FIFA shirt on and stuff like that. That's very, very interesting. So did you partner initially when you moved down by yourself? Did it come to mind to partner with someone, or did you decide I'm going to do this solo? I'm going to grow. I'm going to test my resolve. I'm going to test my barber education, the class, the training, the accounting, the marketing. This is not going to be dependent on any other shop or any other people. I'm going this on my own. Did you think about partnering with someone, or were you fully decided I'm going to do this by myself?
Well, I had got an opportunity to go partner with somebody, and that was a decision: either go on my own and grow and see where I can take it, or partner with somebody, put myself in that situation where we grow together or we'll grow apart. Never knew. So I just basically prayed, man, and let God grace just take over.
Absolutely. And we talked about, our faith in God, and, his timing is perfect. Sometimes, when you are at your complete surrender and say, you know what, because even myself, when you say, I don't know which way to go, I don't know what the next step is going to be, but you said, but absolutely guide me, teach me, give me wisdom, give me discernment. And I love the fact that throughout the COVID season was not your obstacle. It was actually your breakthrough. Mm-hmm. Your breakthrough to a whole new season. And I'm going to be honest, as a man, as you as a head of a household and as a provider, when you start to see that this season was simply the catalyst to something greater, to something bigger than your own vision, bigger than your mission, bigger than your business plan, you start to say, hey, God did have a plan. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome.
You start unfolding, you start seeing it.
Yes, and that's when the prices go up because you got other bills. Yes. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, that's a footnote. That's definitely a footnote. So marketing has become a big part of your brand. I love to see on TikTok and other social media outlets. And how has social media and other marketing strategies helped you grow your business? How has that evolved now that I'm still waiting for the punchline. How did Barberito come out? Was it when you were right there in the flow, you had the clientele, things were coming to fruition, you said, I got to give this business a name? And how did that come about?
Oh man, that's a good question. That one right there it took a lot. It took a lot. I remember one time we talked and you told me about a website to look for, to name soccer.
Yeah. And
I remember, I kept putting names. I couldn't come up with one, and I just threw it out there.
Okay.
And I saw that it was open, so I took it.
Oh, that's when I took it. Yeah, you got to grab it. Yeah.
Yeah. When I took it, it was pretty cool. I liked it. On the social media side, it was great because I could take videos. I could promote themselves. I don't have to be going out anywhere now. So it was way easier.
Correct.
When it changed the whole game of barbering as well.
Absolutely. I think, this is the whole world obviously is going, we'll talk about AI later, but the whole world, obviously that transition to social media outlets and the power that it can do for every person that's either an entrepreneur or a business person to market yourself out there and put a face to the name, so to speak. And just by the way, I'm sporting one of his hats. That's right. That says Barber Muñiz.
Muñiz Barbershop.
Muñiz Barbershop. All right. This is the benefit of being the host. I get the freebie, but I'm going to sport this on, and he's got an amazing shirt that says Muñiz Barbershop. I love the logo as well. So all these marketing techniques helped you to grow a successful business. TikTok, Instagram, of course, Facebook, and now that they see you through these media outlets, there's the word of mouth now becomes maybe a second or third strategy when now social media is giving you a platform where people in Texas, people in different Carolinas or abroad now sees your product and is interested in your website, is interested in your, I guess, your family tree. Is that what I call it? My producer, is that the right term? Family tree with your social media? What is that called?
Link tree.
Oh, I was like, link tree. I was family tree. I'm thinking genealogy here. Link tree. Sorry.
The link tree where you had all your links and stuff.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate that. the link tree. So the link tree. Now, because of that, you said that you were able to go to different states and give a clip or a style to different artists or different people, elite people. How was that experience from, as you reminisce from that first haircut that you did at the church to now traveling to cross state lines to give other people a style or a haircut? How does that experience work for you?
It's awesome. It's awesome. That to me it was a dream come true. Because at first I used to cut hair and try to expand my brand, but now it's like through the social media, like we were talking to, a lot of people just could contract me and basically, hey, we're doing this event, and we'll basically click, connect, and so it's changed my life a lot though.
So if someone's doing a wedding, for example, and just take note for those entrepreneurs. So if someone's doing a wedding or an event, a conference, and say, hey, Yavia, I've got 10 people and we want to fly you in and to cut these 10 people and get them ready. And those are part of the services that you bring, right?
Yes.
But you also have to do time management, because if you're in Texas or you're abroad or in Puerto Rico, that means there's nobody in the studio, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, you don't have the art of multiplicity. You can't be in two places at one time. So that is good, because in your business plan, it gives you that flexibility to be in one place and still cover all the costs, the operational costs of your barbershop, your studio, and also invest in equipment. Now, if I recall back in the day in the church, you're probably loaning clips and scissors and all this other equipment from here and there, and probably there were one type of brand. I don't want to say Wally World or Walmart or anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
Back then they were wired. Now they're wireless.
Oh, there you go. So they were wired. So that I don't want to date you, but you're a young man. So now that you have that clientele, and now that you have that reputation of being able that people trust that they're bringing in a high end quality stylist. Now you're able to invest to progress.
Invest to progress.
I always say that you have to invest to progress. So how has the equipment been like between the Yavia in Clearwater to now the Yavia that has his own studio and has great equipment? How has that changed for you?
It changed a lot, because now you get access to like newer products that are coming out, newer clippers that are coming out. Man, like,
are you bombarded by people that sell these equipments?
All the time.
All the time?
All the time.
Is it by catalog or just
catalogs or they'll hit you, they'll DM you.
Sure.
They'll contact you, they'll text you. Once they get your information, since your information is obviously on Google, Booksy, and all, they'll contact you and they'll try to get you to do like videos for them in exchange for products.
Okay.
Or they'll try to get you to do videos in exchange for clippers.
Okay, outstanding.
caves. It's pretty cool.
Oh, to promote their products, and in exchange they'll give you a couple of freebies and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
I remember, and this is just I'll tie this in to what you do. When I first started mountain biking, right? I wanted to buy the high end bike, right? Get myself involved and in trouble buying a $5,000, $6,000 bike, mountain bike. Just
they get up there?
those. Yeah, absolutely. That's on the low end.
Wow.
That's on the low end. And I remember had a person that was into mountain biking that told me, go ahead and buy yourself a $500 bike, right? Not at Sports Academy or Walmart. You got to get yourself, go to a cyclist shop and buy it was a hardtail Trek 5 bike. It only had the front suspension. And if you are into mountain biking, you'll develop a passion, and then you can start investing and buying things at the higher end. And I would assume that that's probably the same for someone that's just starting, that says, you know what, I want to be a barber and a stylist, and I'm going to spend $5,000 in buying all this stuff without perfecting my craft. What would you recommend to someone that's starting from scratch? This is what I want to do. Would you recommend them spending, splurging 5-10 grand on equipment, or spending less on lesser brands, not good quality brands, but lesser brands until you develop your craft?
I say lesser brands, but quality.
Such as, I don't know.
Okay, so for instance, can I say brands on here?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was making sure.
Yeah,
I was making sure.
Well, if you hear the brand, you can send me the royalties my way. But go ahead.
But you got Babyliss. They're a good brand.
Sure.
They got you got Stylecraft. You got Coco. There's different ones. I suggest it's a brand going out right now. It's called TPOB.
Okay.
And it's like the lowest, but nice quality. And I would say start with that first. And if you like it, then you start upgrading and then upgrading better trimmers, better clippers, better shavers, better shears. Sure. Shears to me are the like top of the line. Okay. Right there, I'm like right there with you. Sometimes I'll get like $1,000, $2,000 shears.
Right.
And they're worth it.
Yeah, as a client, I wouldn't know. I mean, no, I only want to get cut with this A, B, C, D, F, G. But it's amazing. So if you're listening to an experienced stylist, is the fact that start with the quality but lesser brands. Don't get yourself in debt.
No.
Don't max out that credit card. Starts perfecting your craft and then gradually move up. Build your clientele. And if it's your passion like me, when I found out that this mountain biking was one of the hobbies for me to decompress, then I invested in something a little higher. But it's something that I knew that I was going to do, right? It's kind of like an outlet to decompress. So many young people want to become entrepreneurs, but don't know where to start. What advice would you give someone who wants to turn a skill or a passion into a successful business? So you're talking to yourself 10 years ago, right? You were witnessing your mom. You started to develop an interest, a really genuine passion. And you say, you know what? I can make a business out of this. If you were talking to Yavia 10 years ago, or that young teenager 10 years ago, what would you advise him?
First, business plan. Do a business plan. Make sure that to go to school, not wait too late. Just like for instance with me, I started on the apprenticeship, but it took me longer to get into school. I felt like I should have got into school the first thing I should have done. Got the school, got my license, and then started cutting. But I would say have a good business plan, good business model, and a school like a backup of school.
Oh, absolutely. So, you got to have your brand.
A cosmetologist, a barber, sorry to interrupt.
No. Go ahead. You were saying,
if you want to be a cosmetologist or barbering, and what do you want to do in that field? Like 5 years from now, have a 5-year plan. That's what I would have told myself.
Oh, wow.
Because everything came at me so fast, I didn't know where to go.
How to manage it. Sure. And you were talking about the finances.
And everything.
The logistics and so forth. And one of the things, the higher you go, the smaller your circle, right?
Yes.
So sometimes you have to protect that dream, protect that vision and mission. Let's talk about sanitary, right? Sanitation. Mm-hmm. Now, I remember in the days in Boston, All right, you go into these almost closet-like barbershops, right? Military type. You got the old 80-year-old man. He's done this forever since World War One.
With the high tops.
The high tops. You know what I mean? And
and the flat tops.
So there was no disinfecting blades. There was no disinfecting combs. There was no cleaning the chairs in between. What are some of the general health rules? So when the client leaves your chair, what are some of the things that you would advise to have as far as solvent wise or alcohol or some sort of cleaning equipment for someone to have in order to disinfect, obviously, their tools in a proper manner?
So you always got to have disinfection, sterilization, sanitation.
Okay.
And that's one of the main things. Always have hand sanitizer. Always have barber side. They got wipes and they also got the liquid and the spray. So you can spray. Of course, before the clients sit down, you want to clean the chair. You want to clean all your tools. You want to clean everything around before he even comes in.
Sure.
And also aftershaves, I use level 3.
Okay.
A company called Level 3. I like them. And Rhoda, they have good aftershaves. Okay. They have different skins as well.
Okay.
Because sometimes some people are allergic to alkaline alcohol, so they have different.
Do you ask them beforehand?
Yes. Okay. When they sit in my chair, if it's a new customer, I always ask. I ask him what he likes, what he don't like, what irritates him. If he's irritated to noise, because of some trimmers make a louder noise. Is he allergic to anything?
This is all new to me. This is very interesting.
Yeah, because sometimes.
Do you have a checklist?
No, it's just from doing it so long.
Right.
It just became a habit. But I do be telling like the younger crowd that are coming up under me that are learning, and they ask me questions, but I always do that. I noticed that one day I was cutting up a client and like I would do this side and he was fine. But when I would do this side, some clients tend to go like this. And I noticed it was the trimmer sound. So I got a low vibration trimmer.
Wow.
Stuff like that is different. It's different ingredients to the game.
Oh, I can relate, man. I won't say what store. All right. I went the cheap route. I bought some clippers, me trying to be
trying to stay clean.
He's trying to stay clean. This thing was like a tank, man. The sound. I mean, I think I lost my hearing in my left ear because it was very loud. But of course, I mean, what can you expect? What can we expect? Producers laughing,
Sometimes they're heavy too. Sometimes you be heavy and
this thing
your
had
arm hurt your shoulder.
Had a 20-foot cord, man. I could have been in the second floor, just plugged in the.
You finish and your hand is still vibrating.
Oh, look at that! It says it finished and your hand is still. Yes,
sometimes they were like that. Sometimes they were like that. Your hand, you feel the vibration.
Yeah, you feel the numbness. Which leads me to this question. We talked about, of course, sanitation, health rules. Crazy important, especially the client wants to see that he's sitting down in a clean chair, that all your equipment, the atmosphere is clean, also smelling good as well. I actually, when I put this hat on, it smelled like your studio.
Yeah,
I said, man, why does this smell so good? Is because it was smelling like your studio. I'm like, we were all smelling the hat. So I know it smells good. So there are definitely some health rules. Just from my knowledge, do barbers and stylists get audited by an external agency? Does OSHA come in there? Is there an State board comes unannounced, just like OSHA comes
unannounced or once a year.
Okay, so
unannounced or once a year, or if you they get a complaint for somebody.
Okay, it was not clean, not organized, and so forth.
I remember back in the day, it used to be back in the day. They used to come in because like we didn't have no license. I was young. All the guys were young, and then that's when I learned about it. And I was like, you know what? That's when I started going to school and doing apprenticeship. So I did two things at once. I did school in South Carolina and apprenticeship in Georgia.
Yeah, I love when I went to your studio. I love the lighting. You go in there. It's not like a dark cave.
No.
You know what I mean? If people go in, it's got this nice little private entrance, the walkway, private entrance. You go in there, it has a nice little lounge chair. You sit in, it's comfortable. It's comfortable. And you got music going on. Of course, it's got to be that Boricua music, Spanish music. But he makes it feel, at ease and whatnot. You got the little TV set. And one of the things I was so impressed because, this shows progress is that when you were sweeping, you had a little thing the vacuum that sucks up all the hair and stuff like that. I'm like, what was this like 10 years ago, right? But it's all about creating the atmosphere. I think the client experience for all those that are wanting their own studio is that as soon as you go into the studio, as soon as you open the door, the ambience, the atmosphere, how it's smelling, how it's organized, how it's clean, how you are well received. Now that you have all this clientele, I mean, they know you by name and you know them by name, and you start to develop a rapport, a bond, a connection with sometimes you know their spouse's name or their kids, or they bring their kids and whatnot, and becomes a very good family atmosphere. And then every now and then, you do the artist and the singer, the actor, whatever, whatnot, and you have the higher profile clientele. So that has to weigh sometimes physically on your body, because to be able to have a full day. They say, what time do you start your business?
So I wake up every day at 4 a.m. I go to the gym at 4:30 to 6.
Okay.
And I take my kid to school.
Why do you have to make us feel bad? I mean, this is going so well. And then you say, waking up at 4.
I take my kids to school. And then after that, I get to my shop. I clean. Everything is already clean, but sure. I have a bad habit, so I'm OCD, so I'm always cleaning again the next day. And
what time do you open doors for your client, for your first customer? 8 a.m. 8 a.m. So, and you close at what time?
I'll take my last one at 7 to be done at 7:30.
Oof, p.m.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
But that's Tuesday through Friday. On Monday, I do 1 through 5. 1 through 5.
1 through 5.
And Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, that's a full day as well. That's a lot of standing. That's a lot of standing. How do you approach your job from an ergonomic standpoint? Do you have like soft matting around the chair?
Yes.
Or okay.
I actually do.
Okay, soft matting around the chair.
It helps your back. It helps your knees. It helps your waist. Your posture.
Posture, yeah. Posture. Your posture, yeah. Do you take breaks in between? For example, let's say you have an 8 a.m. client, and then you know he's like, God,
no guys,
he's all about that cheddar or something. Telling me he's got to maximize.
I do have a lunch break. I do have a lunch break.
You do have a lunch break. What is it? 5-minute lunch break before you? I mean, you eating a sandwich? What, you trimming somebody? What's going on?
The lunch break is from 11 to 1.
11 to 1. That's good. I mean, that's
from
good.
Tuesday to Friday. Saturday is only 12 to 1.
12 to 1.
And on Monday, no lunch break.
Oh my God.
It's just discipline. And when I go to the gym, I work out my back, I work out my knees, everything that I would use in the barbershop.
Sure. So you've grown from working behind the chair to owning your studio, right? What milestones did that you personally had professionally to say, you know what? Because we love to talk about our triumphs, right? When things work great, you know. And I always told people, look at the before and after, right? First video to this video, and how we are humbly growing and learning from all this experience. What is, you don't have to go into too much of a detail, but what is one thing or situation where you could have said, I could have done it better? Have you had some of those in your decade of styling where you say, you know what, that fade was too high? Well, do you have any experience like that where you say, man, I could have done better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was the situation now that I cleared out, but like
it's funny now, not funny then.
Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't.
Okay.
Kids.
Okay.
Like I cut kids from 5 to 12 now. Back then I used to take them however they came, but when they're babies, you can't really cut their hair.
Sure.
So that was one of the main things that I worked on.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You know, they can't complain to the mom. They got a free haircut.
Exactly.
So let's segue to that. We were talking about that throughout the year, you have events or things in your calendar where you actually cut a kid's haircuts for free. Now, I'm not advertising this. I'm just saying to his discretion, he'll throughout the year have an event where maybe back to school or special events. And what put that in your heart to do to take a week off of cutting clients and paying clients to opening up your professional studio to serve the community? That
right there, that just came out. It just came out of my heart. What I would do? You want me to explain
Sure,
what I actually do?
yes.
Okay, so what I actually do, like back to school or summer, right before they get to summer, I'll reserve Booksy adult haircuts, line up anything, and I'll just leave kids open. But I take a deposit before for every client. I'll take that off as well. So when the mom books the kid, and services are where a lot of moms is like, hey, we couldn't pay online. How can I pay? And I'm like, no, it's okay. The business got it. And that came out my heart because growing up, I remember I can't compare myself. My mom was always great cutting our hair, but I would see friends of mine that my mom will offer them free haircuts just because her son's clean. She don't want him looking, like nappy around her son because he's clean. So I got that from that. I was like, you know what? Why not help the next one, but just do it quietly and don't tell nobody. Don't promote it. I don't promote it. I don't put it on social media. I just reserve everything and just leave the kids open, and it's free. When they book it, they're free. But I only do it like right before back to school for Georgia and South Carolina.
All right, I'm gonna like. Does Kevin qualify for that haircut? Just
right now, the way he's looking, yes.
Okay. Oh man! Wow. Oh wow! What was that all about?
I'm messing with you, Kevin. I'm messing with you.
Hey, they're friends, man. They're friends.
We're friends for years.
We're gonna deal with this after.
Okay, all right. That's on you. I'm gonna let you guys have a conversation. They're talking like that because they're good friends.
Yes.
So, time management, keeping appointments on schedule, as you know, sometimes, as an entrepreneur, you have to deal with the fact that people cancel. I always say life happens. Even in this podcast, if you would have called me saying, "Hey, Danny, I had a flat, got into an accident, I have another family emergency." Life happens, and you have that flexibility and that contingency plan about rearranging your schedule to accommodate you at a later time. But it becomes more important because now that you are owning your business, at first you were learning, not too dependent maybe on the finance side, but now that you have a business, and people perhaps cancel, right? Because life happens.
Yes,
I was on your way, had an appointment Saturday at noon, but this situation happened. So you have to have a contingency plan, flexibility, maybe somebody that's on call, or have a financial safety net, because that's one of the things that entrepreneurs don't understand. Yes, you have your clientele. Yes, you have your business, but yes, you have your finances in order. So when things do cancel and you were expecting 8 clients and that reduced to 3 for whatever reason, you're covered and your household is not affected. What would you advise someone to say, hey, things happen and you have to have a good financial safety net in order to mitigate those situations?
Always have an emergency fund. Have an emergency fund, and always, like, even though if you have a good week, always take out, some of the profit and put in an account for those days that you don't have, that somebody cancels on you, the cancel policy, which I give them 2 hours before their appointment. Sure. A lot of people do a day before.
Okay.
I'll do the whole 2 hours before, and if it's understandable, I'll let it be.
Sure. So that's to your discretion. Everybody's a little bit different.
Different. Yeah, everybody's different. But I always, every week, I don't know why, since I was a kid, I always take out a little bit and put it towards that fund in case somebody's not there. Okay, boom.
Yeah.
I could touch it a little bit,
So, yeah, especially when you were moving to your studio.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to pay the light bill, water bill, what's called operational costs. Operational costs. So if you're an entrepreneur, know that you're going to have, as your business grows, to have a financial contingency plan for those rainy days.
Yes, sir.
People and business skills. You have active listening, which means you understand what a client wants before starting. You ask them, what is it you want? And I hate to sound so jokingly, but they'll show you, they always come with a phone, right?
With a phone.
Man, they come with a phone, and Dylan was part of that. I want this. And you're looking at this cut, and you're looking at the person, you're like,
It's like, this is not your hair texture, bro.
Oh, it's a Jesus take the wheel kind of moment, right? Because and so, of course, communication, taking it easily and building trust with customers. So how do you transition from a client shows you a specific hairstyle, And I love what you said, that it's probably not your hair. You got thin hair and this is for thicker hair or different styles, or he's asking you for certain highlights or certain things. Were you humble enough in the beginning to say, you know, these are my capabilities, but I can try? Or how would you advise the customer, the client, to maybe this is what you would really like? When you have someone who says, hey, I want A, you evaluate me, he's like, I think B will suit you more. Let's go with B. And maybe they go with B.
Yeah.
Have you had a lot of those moments?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. You always got to do a client consultation. You got to sit down with them, let them know their hair texture. When they show you the picture, you know, so they could be prepped, be like, hey, look, this is a different hair texture. We can try to get it close to it, but there's always that but. And you got to be able. At first, I was shy. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I was really shy to like even tell them, but I was able to do it, but I was shy. And now it's like it's better to give them that client consultation so they can understand.
Outstanding. So you do highlights, right? The color, yellow,
hair color,
everything, whatever the client wants.
Yes, sir.
Do you also do beards?
We do beards. We do color.
Okay.
We do texture.
And all this is on your the website, on your social media, what you do?
No, not all of it right now. Right now, I just have the basics.
Okay, outstanding. But when they get there, they know all the entire business portfolio of all your capabilities. That's awesome.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all. So time, again, keeping your appointments. From a business operations side, AI increasingly handles appointment scheduling right now, you know, but it's a lot of stuff is automated marketing, inventory tracking for local shops. You know, you have a scheduling app. You know, it's no longer by phone book. You know, it's no longer by text. For those entrepreneurs that want to be work more efficiently with time management, would you advise them that having people's phones and calling them is the best strategy, or having a specific app to schedule their appointments and send them reminders of their appointment? Is that the best course of action?
I think so. I think it's best when you have the app, but there's other people that they kind of used to the phone.
Okay.
Or calling them, putting them down, but that just gets to a certain level where you can't cross no more. It's like you need the app. It's going to get you to the point where you need people to book, or they can also see what you have in your schedule. So that when they call, hey, what do you have today? I can't right now. I'm with a client.
Yeah.
Your hands are busy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's better off they see your day. Okay, he don't have nothing. But also if they cancel, you know, you have now AI basically contacts you and let you know that there's an opening.
Oh, outstanding. So that's great time management, because, you know, there's probably, hey, Danny, somebody canceled. We need to go over there and have it
Have a
available.
3 spot.
I think that takes a load off your shoulders regarding scheduling and schedule management with clienteles. Payment wise, you know, back then it was all about cash. It was all about the money, right?
Yes.
No problem with having something physical, right? With that, but do you advise clients, or maybe there's a preference for each e-payments, whether it be through Zelle, PayPal, what do we have, Venmo, and so what, Cash App or something like that? There's a lot of them. There's one too many. I remember I went to, when I was in Puerto Rico just recently, right? We went to a place and we had the Apple Pay, right? So either Apple Pay or PayPal or other means. No,
ATH Móvil.
ATH Móvil or Venmo. I only take, and so I was like, I think I got Venmo. Man, that thing was, I needed to just not upgrade. I needed to update my account information and stuff like that. But to me, it was like she missed out on a sale because, you know, X amount, you know, I was willing to spend a good amount of money there, but she only took this, and that kind of was very, very limited. So how do you work with clients regarding a payment wise? You got a lot of options, or
I got a lot of options,
or do you have a preference?
I got a lot of options. I don't. Back then, it used to be a lot of cash. Now I barely see cash.
Okay.
Because at once, you know, I wanted to show, you want to show income for certain things, like you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car. So I got into that side of the game, and I just stuck with it. So sometimes I don't know what cash is unless somebody tip me, but I do got all different venues. I got Cash App, Venmo.
Yeah.
You know, when you pay through Booksy, they got their own system as well.
Okay, so it goes like, I don't care how you pay me, but pay me when you can.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's good. I just did throw that as a remix to that song, so that's good. I mean, the different, and for those that are listening, is the fact that he says something very critical and very important, and it's the fact that if you want to show a history of income to be qualified for a loan, for expansion, for this and that, it's easier to have that accounting trail.
Yes.
And do you have an accounting software, or is it just through your bank?
I got an accountant.
Okay.
Actually, and so he runs all my information, everything. Basically it goes through Booksy. Booksy got their own program.
Sure.
And through Booksy it goes to my business. And from my business, monthly I get a salary.
Outstanding.
So I don't pay myself weekly. I don't transfer money. I just get a salary. Everything is run straight business for all the businesses I have.
So work smarter, not harder.
Yes, sir.
For those that are learning in this day and age, in order to remain competitive and have a competitive edge, you got to have the AI tools. You have to have the accounting software. I mean, I'm not sure if you can get an accountant like Mr. Yavia at the moment, but I know he didn't start off with an accountant,
No,
right?
sir. No,
At
sir.
first, he wanted cash, and he was doing the. I can just see him with a notebook,
notebook
and a pencil, writing one-on-one and calling people. But you have an app for payments. You have an app for scheduling. And you have electronic payments, of course, doing all your accounting, and you give yourself a salary bi-weekly or monthly, whatnot, as it suits you. As your business has grown, how has your definition of success changed from when you first started? At first, you as a young man, you were looking into the future, and you said, once I reach this level, that'll define success. But now that you've tapped into success, has your definition of success in your business, your line of work, has it changed?
Yes.
How so?
Time management. You got to deal with time, family. There's different levels of success. I feel like in this industry, there's not a cap. You just keep going and going and going. So you have to learn more. Like, for instance, like in success, I always go by this saying that my aunt used to say, si quieres que tu cerebro sea grande, lee para que se expande.
Okay, nice.
So I always went by that. So in this, I don't think I'm never going to stop. It's always going to be next level going up.
Awesome. That's when I was
if that answers your question.
It does, because you hit on family. Mm-hmm. It's not, yes, operational costs. Yes, things require money. That's the how the world evolves. But money is fluid, right? Money is a tool to expand your vision, your mission, and to also to sometimes splurge on the sacrifices that you made. That's why you give yourself that vacation and you buy this reward here and there, but also providing for your family, your outlet. One of the things that I love when we were talking before the podcast, is that we were talking about having a truck, right? A mobile unit to go around with you. Right now, you don't want to limit yourself to just the studio. When I was in Puerto Rico, I was amazed, right? It's like almost every municipality or every town had a I don't want to call it, it was a truck, barbershop truck, that they went potentially from event to event. I saw one that was near the beach. So just imagine if they're having a beach festival or a concert or whatnot. Here's Yavia going into the, pull it up. You have the same, equipment, AC type thing, same vibe, same atmosphere, same branding. It was wrapped with very amazing logo and design logos and stuff like that. Very appealing, Caribbean-like, tropical. Is that something that you have your own studio? What does expansion look for you from here to 5 years? Do you see yourself acquiring something like that where you can now go to, let's say, an event to downtown, a concert, a conference, a festival, whatnot, to just to continue promoting yourself?
Yes, that's going to be in the future. I want to have a bigger studio, a lot more stuff.
So phase one, bigger studio. And then off that studio, I would have a mobile vehicle where for events, like concerts, like you say, like Latino concerts, American concerts, there's concerts. You could put it in everything. You could put it in rodeos.
You can also do like give back to school. You can actually pull up to each school. You don't have to now, do host at the shop no more. You can actually go to the school and donate. Sure. It's, man, it don't limit you.
It's endless.
Limit. Yeah.
So
I would have one.
Oh man, I can't wait. Maybe I need to invest part of that. So one of the things that you were talking about was showing kids your craft, where you have 5, 10 kids or whatnot, maybe a bigger group, whatnot, and give them, with their parents' permission, they have to sign a waiver, giving them clippers, whatnot, to see how they learn from that. Take us through one of those events where you had like a classroom session or an event where you were teaching others the basics of what you do.
So basically you will walk in and you'll see a lot of like mobile stations. A lot of kids would be in their and with their models, and basically we'll have a big screen and you will be listening to what I say, or one of the educators are saying. You'll be cutting hair to what, like, man, how can I say it? You basically, as you being instructed, you would do it basically.
Okay.
Like if I'm gonna do this fade, first I'll start off with the 0, boom, all the way around. Everybody would do it the same.
Okay, I got you.
You get what I'm saying? So it's hands-on. So a lot of people learn reading and a lot of people learn hands-on. And I noticed that in the barber industry, yes, you could read the book, you can learn from the book, see a video, but it's not the same until you got hands-on. Sure. So we would do it, and it's pretty awesome. I
would definitely be freaked out if you put a trimmer in my hand. I've got this human being right in front of me, and I'm not, I'm probably going to give him a mom haircut.
We use mannequins.
Okay,
yeah, we use a mannequin because then if we see your progress, then we'll put a actual model.
There's a sacrificial lamb comes and says, I'll take a hit for the team. I'll send Kevin. It's like he comes out with a military cut. He's like, his wife is gonna kill him. He comes back. It's like, that's
no
awesome.
more long hair, bro.
No more long hair. He styles it well. Definitely styles it well. What are some of the goals or projects you're currently working on that you're most excited about, and where do you see your business in the next 5 to 10 years? What are you excited? What are you working on now?
One of the goals that I'm actually working on is a barber expo. I want to be able to have barber competitions as always, and beauty competition, because you always got to put both of them together, the barber and the cosmetologist.
So you want to be like the coordinator for that? I mean, okay. So you do the event.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, I want to do the event. I want to have educators. So I want to have classes as well. All kind of education, from makeup to nails to, because normally when you go to one, I want mine to be different. I don't want it just to be about barbering, how to cut hair. I want cosmetologists. I want makeup artists. I want nail techs. I even want an accountant. I even probably call you and be like, hey, bro, can you give a little class about podcasting?
Sure.
How to interview a person. And I want to be able to do that. The location, we're looking at the location, and it's coming soon. It's coming soon. But that's my next goal. Where do I see myself in 5 years? I always believe in the 5-year plan.
Okay.
Every 5 years, there's something always that comes, like, that is great in my life that happens. So I'll see me with my studio, also the mobile vehicle, and doing these events. And of course, once it takes the events, it takes so much that sometimes you got to get away from the cutting hair and put somebody in your place and just be traveling while doing the events. Because a lot of companies, it ain't just one section. They like it, they're going to want you to travel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And host.
Yeah, and host and promote their products, be a spokesperson, whatnot, and still have someone at your studio. Do you have an apprentice? Do you have that successor? There's somebody in the family, friends. Somebody says, you know what, I want to shadow you for the next few years. Or are you still?
There's a couple. There's a couple of kids coming up.
Sure.
There's a couple of kids coming up. They under me. They're learning. They're really great. Like, they're awesome.
Outstanding.
They're awesome. I want to say like 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
I kind of don't want to reveal too much.
No,
it's a secret.
So, you definitely
it's a secret, and
I don't put any names out there, but I believe that there's one thing about growing a business, and the CEO, the business owner like yourself, is always aspiring to do something greater. And sometimes it's a personal challenge. For me, when I first started, you know me for many years, I first started off in music, right? I had several music projects, and what took me around the States and abroad was singing, just singing and being always a lecturer, right? I was always giving conferences or just in some sort of revival, whatnot. And then from that grew into being more of a spokesperson, doing what I'm doing here. And then I went into books. There was a progression. What I'm trying to say is the progression. There was an interest. There was a challenge before me. And from the books, which I still am passionate about and still do, was now the podcasting. And but I'm looking beyond the podcasting, right? I'm looking at the other things that hopefully the good Lord would bless me with health and finances to reach those goals and objectives. So as you look deep in your spirit, and you have to see it before you seize it, right? You have to have that vision, make it plain, and draw a roadmap in order to get there, as far as your 3-year plan, 5-year plan, 7-year plan, 10-year plan, with certain milestones that will indicate that you're getting a little closer as you, I won't say loosen ties with your business, but you have someone there that's taking care of your business as you grow other things. Because you can have, listen, I'm wearing a Yavia hat, and there's merch, right? There's merchandise, there's marketing, branding, and all that. And but when the expos say, hey, I did my first expo, but now you're doing 3 or 4 expos a year, that's going to require sponsors. That's going to require location, a lot of logistics, a lot of business planning, a lot of project planning before the event in order to maximize and capitalize on that. I love the fact with expos is that you're bringing in people from different industries. You said cosmetology, you said an accountant, you say maybe someone for project management. So you're working on the individual holistically based on your personal experience. So, hey, when I was younger, I needed some accounting skills, so I'm going to bring an accountant to teach the young generation. Yes, if I was cutting hair and I need a cosmetology person, maybe a nail person, right? Nail style, anything that has to do with cosmetology, right? And styling and barber. Then I need some sponsors with branding, the talc, the alcohol, the sanitation, and all those other brands that they can be there at the table saying, hey, these are the less expensive brands, and this is the high-end stuff, and you pick and choose from not. But I think those expos are so important because they bring a wealth of information. You literally have taken your 10 years of experience and bottled them in one day, maybe a 2-day event, where if I'm an aspiring entrepreneur in my early 20s, I've been exposed to everything.
Yes.
From the accounting to the cosmetology to the good, the bad, and all these lessons learned, and especially the information that you leave behind, as far as the pamphlets, your website. It's the legacy. And it's a definitely legacy, and I can just see the banner, right? El Barberito, Yavia Muñiz,
yes,
and I'll be collecting the royal. I'll probably be the one collecting the ticket.
You'll be my manager.
I'll be my manager. So if it's $10 event, you go in, 3 for Yavia, 7 for me. That's how it's a good event. I'm a businessman. I got a podcast to run, right? No, but I love your vision and the business model and the business plan, because you are not working aimlessly. You're working toward a goal. So if you are an entrepreneur, you have to have a strategic plan. You have to have a goal and objectives. So when people look back at your career years from now, what do you hope your legacy will be? Not just as a stylist, not just as a barber, but as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, and a member of your community, because you're touching people left and right throughout the CSRA. So your business is not only in Aiken. People come from Grovetown. People come from different parts of the CSRA, and they're interacting with you, the product. They know your why, your passion. They know the interaction, the bonds. Once. And I love the fact that your line of work, man, you could be 80 and doing this. You know what I mean? This is amazing. So, but looking at your legacy as you're leaving, as we grow and leave things behind, what would you like to be remembered by, and what legacy would you like to leave behind?
The legacy I would like to leave behind That's a good question.
It's a loaded one. Yes.
Yes, it is. I wanted to be I want to be remembered as somebody that never gave up. Somebody that, every obstacle he overcame.
Sure.
Basically, yes, a legend in the barber industry, but why? What made me get there and have all my whys. I want to be able to change the game differently. I want to be known for different parts, not like everybody else. So
Sure.
that's why I want to be able to educate. I want to be able to how do you say the word? Como
You say in Spanish,
como ayudar a alguien, como ser como un mentor.
Yeah, be a mentor. Help
I want to be a
someone.
mentor.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of things right now. I mean, I'm still too young, so
yeah,
I'm still young, to be honest. So, but there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that I want to be remembered as, like, man, a young entrepreneur that made it out from where we come from.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we have a similar upbringing,
Yes,
from humble means to where we are now, and we know that it took a lot of sacrifice, a lot of discipline, a lot of positive mindset, a lot of self-encouragement, right? To encourage yourself.
Yes.
Now, because people can encourage you, but you have to encourage yourself in the Lord, right? You have to encourage yourself. You have to pump yourself up, and know that you have that to believe in yourself, to believe in your potential. That it was, I don't want to say from rags to riches, but almost that theme that from humble means to a more stable, prosperous life, defining success as you see fit in your industry, and having a stable lifestyle, in a lifestyle where you actually can contribute to other people, because that's how I measure my life. I love to get better so I can serve better. Right. I don't just get better to develop an ego to say, look at what I have achieved academically or this or that. To me, those are just assets. The reason, my why, the reason why I want to get better, the reason why I want to, just perfect the craft, so to speak, and just to become better at what I do is so that I can mentor and serve better. The next person, be the bridge to your success. And I've shared this in my podcast a gazillion times. If I have one addiction, if I have one passion, it's to seeing other people succeed, seeing other people's come from bottlenecks and obstacles and hindrances, and they turned their lives around. They believed in their potential. They had a vision and a plan, and they were able to break whatever academic ceiling or business ceiling, and say, you know what, if I was able to do it, if Yavia was able to do it, with all the naysayers, with all the people that criticize, with all the people that seem unsatisfied for whatever extra reason, and they see the before and after, and they probably said, I could have counted him out a million times, but his resiliency, his resolve, his determination to say, I'm going to be one of the best in the industries, I'm working toward that, and that's going to be my legacy. So when they see me, they can say, yeah, if he was able to do it with all his limitations,
we can too.
We can too. So I think that's an amazing legacy. All right, that's awesome. So thank you so much for joining us in this podcast. I have learned a lot, and I know I've got a lot of questions. We're going to put all his links in our Apple Podcast, Spotify links in his bio. We're going to make sure that you connect with El Barberito Yavia Muñiz. He's has a wealth of knowledge, more than what can I express, because it's not my industry. But if you want to know about this industry, how he was able to succeed in his business, and tap into his business plan, his merchandise. I've got the hat. He's got the shirt. I'm probably going to stay with his shirt afterward. But yes, you get it. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow us. This is all about networking. We're so grateful for all your support. And of course, I will see you on that next episode.